Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are doing well on this Friday lunchtime, at least on the East Coast, 12 o'clock. We're at game three of the Steve Carlton replay. First game I used, whoa, let's turn that down. First game I used Strat-O-Matic, and then I decided why not switch off and do payoff pitch just to be a little different because I'm already doing Strat-O-Matic with two other things. So I figured why not bring payoff pitch back in the mix and gives me excuse to use the 72 season I bought a while back. So now we're looking at Steve Carlton's replay. We're at game number 3. He is 2-0 on the replay. I do put these games into the Action PC using their manual entry, but I'm going to do it after the game is over. I don't want to mess up the flow, so I'm not going to do it while I'm trying to play. So this game was played in Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Philadelphia won the real game 3-0. And it's going to be Juan Marichal for the Giants against Steve Carlton for the Phillies. You can see the starting lineups for both teams. And the last game, hello, Ernest. Last game I played, game 2, was my first game back at payoff pitch for a long time. So trying to get my flow going with payoff pitch of how I want to integrate the fast action cards with the dice. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do from now on, whenever I roll the dice once, if it calls for another number, be it a D6 or D10, then I'll use the fast action cards rather than re-roll the dice. And also we'll use it for runner advancement as well, and part of defense as well. So if you roll the 2D6s and I get defense, like say I rolled an 11, just for instance. Say I rolled an 11, which is defense, I'll use the fast action card to see who the defensive check is on, which is the error third baseman. Then I'll use the original D10 rolls to see if it's an error or not. So that's kind of how I'm going to play that. So let me shuffle these up a little bit, and we'll flip them over and get ready to go. I don't know how well you can see it, but I do have the benches and bullpens for both teams. Don't have the Giants are down there. But I got the benches and bullpens for both teams. This is based on what the Action PC computer told me who was available. So that's what we're going to use. I think I messed up. I was going to flip these. Let's flip these over. All right. So I think we're pretty much in good shape, ready to go. Carlton will have to step aside while Juan Marichal takes the hill for the San Francisco Giants. And leading off will be Larry Boa of the Philadelphia Phillies. Kind of went with the Giant themed dice with the orange, black, and white. See how that plays out. See if I need to make this any brighter or not. I don't know if I do or not. I don't want it to get too bright, but I think it needs to be bright enough where you can see things. So hopefully that's a little bit better. We shall see. All right. So we are ready to go. Larry Boa facing Juan Marichal. And we get a 11, which is defense. So right away, my very first thing I checked on is, and we can tell right now it's going to be an error or a base hit because we got a 0-6 here, and that's going to pretty much be a hit or an error depending on who we check. So we go to the fast action card. We're checking the range of the third baseman. Well, range of the third baseman, that is Chris Arnold. His range is an A, but even with an A range, 1 to 26 is still going to be a hit, and that's a 6. So Larry Boa will get himself a base hit. It's just the way it worked out. Base hit Larry Boa. I am using automated steals. Larry Boa's steal rating is a 4. That's an 11, so obviously did not fall within the 4, so he will not get a good lead to steal. Brings up Tim McCarver, catcher. And we get a 7, which is Tough, 89. Tough's going to be out of range. 89 is going to take it to a ground ball to second, possible double play. Double play rating of McCarver is a 7. Double play rating of Marichal is a 6. So these two D6s have to be 6 or less for it to be a double play. That's a 7. So it passes McCarver, does not pass Marichal. So it will not be a double play. It'll be a lead runner, fielder's choice. If these dice had been 11 or 12, it would have been runner advancement. But it's going to end up being a 4 to 6 fielder's choice. Had the 2D6 been a 6 or less, it would have been a double play. So McCarver's the new runner at first. And that'll bring up Willie Montañez, the center fielder. We get a 6, which is in play. That's a 99. That's going to be a fly ball to right field. And that is out number 2. For Darren Johnson, the first baseman, we get a 6, which is in play, 39. And in play only goes to 24. So a 39 is a ground ball to first. That's the third out of the inning, so there's no need to check for any kind of double play. It's just an out. And that will do it for the Phillies in the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Philadelphia nothing. Giants coming to bat, and Steve Carlton, the pitcher. Let's see, maybe this might be a little bit too bright. Let's turn it down one shade. See if that helps. That might help a little bit. All right, don't want any glare if I can avoid it. So Chris Spire is your leadoff man. He is the shortstop. 3 on Carlton is defense. So again, we're going to keep the 78 to see what happens, but we're checking the card to see who the defensive check is on. It is an error chance on the third baseman. So the third baseman in this game is Don Money. His error rating is a 4. So we come over to the ballpark, look at the 4, and that says a 1 to 37 is going to be an error. 38 to 99 will be a good play. That's a 78, so he will make the play. And let's see if it's a line out or ground out or whatever. So we check the out range for the infielders, and it's a pop out. So it won't be a ground out to third. It's actually going to be a pop out to third. So Spire pops out to the third baseman Money, 1 away. That'll bring up Tito Fuentes, second baseman. That is a 10, which is tough, and a 38. So tough 38. That's going to be a base hit against a left-handed pitcher. So Tito Fuentes gets himself a single. His steal rating is a 4. That's a 10, so definitely out of range. So he will hold. And that'll bring up Bobby Bonds. Willie Mays is on the roster. He's just not starting this game, but he is available to pinch hit in case you're curious. But Bobby Bonds is up with Fuentes at first. We get another 10, which is tough, 53. And that's going to be a double for Bobby Bonds. Look at that. 53 is a double. 53 and 54 are doubles. We use the fast action cards to check runner advancement. Runner advances 2 bases on the double. So Fuentes will stop at third base. Runners at second and third with only 1 out for Dave Kingman. And the Phillies will bring the infield in against Kingman. Carlton could use a strikeout, and Kingman is definitely a strikeout candidate. Getting that tough range of 1 to 74 would be a strikeout. 7 is in play, 61. Definitely out of range. 61's a ground ball to second. And with the infield in, they will hold the runners. 2 down. And that'll send up Ken Henderson. Henderson now in a technical clutch situation. Second and third, 2 out. Switch hitter, batting right-handed. That's a 4, which is tough. And that's a 12. That's a strikeout to end the inning. So Carlton pitches out of the mess. Played 1 inning, no score. And now we're back to the top half of the second, which is Greg Luzinski, the bull. Luzinski, left fielder. That's going to be a 7, which is tough. 29 against the right-hander. Tough is a strikeout. First strikeout for Marichal, and Luzinski goes by the wayside. Here's Don Money, third baseman. That is a 4, which is patient. 85, though. Patient only goes to 47. 85 is just a ground ball to short. 2 down. Both these pitchers are using pitcher hitting card number 10. They're both good hitters. So they will use pitcher hitting card number 10 when the time arises. Here's Mike Anderson, right fielder. That's a 10, which is patient, and 40. Patient 40 is going to be a walk. So first walk issued by Marichal. His steal is a 2. That's a 10, so definitely not in his range to get a lead. That'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Denny Doyle. That's a 7, which is tough. 93, that's problems. That's a fly to right. And that will end the inning. So nothing doing there for the Phils. We go to the bottom of the second, still no score. Carlton will come out and face Gary Maddox, Fran Healy, and Chris Arnold for the Giants. We get a 10, which is tough, and that's an 08. Well, tough 08s are going to be strikeouts. 99.9% of the time, I think. It's just those low numbers don't help you. Here's Fran Healy, the catcher. Not a very good hitter. 6 is patient, 67, but he will get the walk. 1 to 71, he walks. So he walked against left-handed pitching, only 39 official at bats, and walked 7 times. So he definitely knew how to drew those walks. First walk issued by Carlton. Of course, he has a 2 steal rating, and that's a 6, so no jump there. Chris Arnold. Arnold, your third baseman. That's an 8, which is tough. 71. Tough only goes to 62. 71. Ground ball to second. Possible double play. He's a 9. That's a 6, but that's an 8, so that fails. So they get the force play, and that will go 4 to 6 on the fielder's choice. So they don't turn the double play. And now Marichal will come up and hit. And again, he uses pitcher hitting card number 10. 2 outs, Arnold at first. That's a 4, which is tough, and that's going to be a strikeout if you're a pitcher card. 1 to 89 is a strikeout. That's a 78. So strikeout number 3 for Carlton. And that's going to do it for the Giants. No score after 2. Steve Carlton will lead off the third. He also uses pitcher hitting card number 10. He is a left-handed hitter. But it doesn't matter with the pitcher. They're standard. 6 is in play. 07. How about that? In play 07's a base hit for Steve Carlton. How about that? Carlton gets the base hit. Here's Larry Boa. After Carlton had reached. Boa's a B bunter, but I think we're going to have him swing away. 3 is ballpark. And that is a 30. Now, 30 is a chance for a wild pitch. I missed that earlier in the first game. A 30, each pitcher has a wild pitch range, and that 30 that's a 30. So that's going to be a wild pitch. That'll move Carlton to second base, but it might have helped him out because that would have been a wheelhouse check otherwise. So maybe he catches a break unknowingly. So the wild pitch sends Carlton to second with nobody out. Boa 7 is tough. 52 against the right-hander, tough. 52 is a ground ball to third, and Carlton will have to hold at second base. 1 out, and here's Tim McCarver. Six is in play. 62 is way out of range. 62, a fly ball to left. And Carlton retreats to second with 2 outs for Willie Montañez, center fielder. 5 is tough. 86, that's definitely out of range. That's a ground ball to second. And so the Phillies come away empty-handed. Go to the bottom of the third, still no score from Candlestick Park. Due up for the Giants, it'll be the top of the order, Chris Spire, followed by Fuentes and Bonds. Hope you're having a good Friday afternoon wherever you are. 7 is in play. 39. In play only goes to 26, so 39's a pop out to third. That's the second time he's popped out to third. 1 away for Tito Fuentes. He singled his first time up. 7 is in play. 37. That only goes to 32. So 37's a pop out to the catcher, McCarver, and there's 2 away for Bobby Bonds. We get a 4, which is tough. 18, that's a strikeout, and that is strikeout number 4 for Carlton. So that will Be a 3-up, 3-down inning. Good pitching matchup, and after the game this morning, where the Cleveland Indians pitching staff got rocked, it's nice to see some good pitching for a change. As Ernest, you are correct, sir. It is definitely a much polar opposite than what we had in this morning's game. All right, here's Darren Johnson. 5 is tough. 09, that's a strikeout. Low numbers, going to be strikeouts in the tough category. That is a strikeout. 1 away. And Ernest, I'm not sure how familiar you are with payoff pitch. I know a lot of people, have played it in the past, but I don't know how many people. And it's a big thing now with coming up with the computer version. Beta is in testing right now, so that's kind of piqued the interest of payoff pitch a little bit. Here's Luzinski. 7 is tough. You haven't tried it. Okay. 7 is tough. And a 65. Tough 65. Whoa. 62 would have been a base hit. 54 to 62 would have been a single. 65, though, we dropped down to the out and it's ground ball to second. It's a good game, and no question about it. And the cards, I'm telling you what, for printed cards, there are none better in the industry. They have the best quality cards, bar none, as far as the thickness. Now the coloring is nice, and you get a little bit of the team color here, but they're not like inside pitch where they're really colorful. But they're really, they're high quality cards. All right, here's Don Money. 6 is in play. 63, that's way out of range. 63 is another ground ball to second. That will end the inning. So nothing doing for the Phillies. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still no score. And it'll be Kingman, Henderson, and Maddox for the Giants. That's a 7, which is in play. 80, though, is out of range. 80, the only in play only goes to 17. 80's a fly to center. Kingman is out of there. 1 away for Ken Henderson. Switch hitter. 4 is tough. That's an 88. Only goes to 56 in the tough range. 88's a grounder to short, where Boa takes care of it. 2 down. And here's Gary Maddox. We get a 5, which is tough, and a 10. Well, 1 to 74 is a strikeout, so the 10 definitely fits. And again, a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 5th. Anybody trying to watch this while they eat lunch, the game will be over before you finish eating lunch, the way this is going. But I'm not complaining at all, not after this morning. All right, here's Anderson. It'll be Anderson, Doyle, and Carlton due up for the Phillies. And as far as fatigue goes, Marshall's a 7, Carlton's an 8. So they're still good to go. 8 is in play, 64. In play only goes to 16. 64 is a ground ball to second. And there's 1 away. There's one thing on my computer screen to get off of here. Don't need that on there. All right, here's Denny Doyle. We get a 5, which is tough. 85 only goes to 28. 85 is another ground ball to second. 4 ground balls to second in a row. That's interesting. That's been one of the knocks on this game, is the out distribution's a little funky, but no game is perfect. That's obvious. Here's Carlton. He actually singled his first time up. 4 is patient. 13, he might actually walk, and he does. Wow, Steve Carlton draws the walk. He's a 1 to 18 to walk on the patient category, and he got the 13. So there you go. I like how it's color coded, though. When you hit yellow, you go right to the yellow. When you hit blue, you go right to the blue. Hit green, you go to the green. So it's very easy to follow. Here's Boa. We get a 5. That's tough. We go to the blue here against righties. 1 to 31 or 22 to 31 is a single. That's a 17. That's going to be a strikeout, because 1 to 20 is a strikeout. So Boa doesn't strike out much, but you get those low numbers, you're going to run into strikeouts. And there you go. That'll do it for the Phillies. Go to the bottom of the 5th. That's a good way to put it, Ernest. You're absolutely correct. Bad day at the park beats a good day at work any day. All right, it's bottom of the order for the Giants: Healy, Arnold, and Marichal. Five is tough, 44 against the lefty. 1-88 is a strikeout, so that's strikeout number 6 for Steve Carlton. You can see how his card is loaded with tough results. So he's going to be, he did strike out 310 batters in 346 innings, so he should be getting his fair share of strikeouts. Here's Arnold. 8 is tough again. 87 won't be a strikeout. 87 will be a ground ball to short. 2 away for Marichal, who again uses pitch rating card number 10, the right-hand side, right-hand column, number 10, which is in play, 38, but that's only going to go to 22. 38 is a ground ball to first. Johnson handles it unassisted. 5 innings in the books, and we got no score. Both pitchers on their game. So coming up for the Phillies, it'll be McCarver, Montañez, and Johnson, kind of the heart of the order. The Phillies want to make any noise. Whoa, we got a hop and dice. Let's re-roll that. We get an 8. That's in play. 0-3. 0-3 in play for McCarver will be a double. 1-7 is a double. So McCarver, a leadoff double for the Phillies as they try to get a run. Phillies won this game again in real world, 3-0. Here's Montañez. 8 is in play, but that's a 53, way out of range. 53 is a ground ball to third, so the run on second will have to hold. 1 away for Darren Johnson. 4 is patient. 95, though, way out of range. 95 is a fly to the left. 2 down. It's going to be up to the bull, Greg Luzinski. Clutch situation for Luzinski. 11 is defense, so we're going to the defensive check on this fast action cards. We're checking the range of the third baseman. So the range of the third baseman. Third baseman is Chris Arnold. His range is an A. So we go to Candlestick Park and look at the range. He's an A. A 1-26 is a hit. 27-99, he's out. That's an 86, so that's an out. So I'm going to see what kind of out it is. Is it a ground ball, fly out, whatever. We check the out category for the infield. It's a ground ball. So ground ball will do it. 5-3 ground out will end the inning. And once again, nothing doing on the scoreboard. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Still zip to zip. And it's the top of the order for the Giants: Chris Spire, Tito Fuentes, and Bobby Bonds. 1-6. I've got my strat thing going on again, don't I? You can see how it's coming through. I'm thinking this white die, these 2 dies make 1-6 because I'm just so ingrained with Strat-O-Matic. 6 is patient. 41. Patient is going to be a walk. 1-76 against left-handed pitching. So 1-76 is a walk. That's a 41. So Spire will draw the leadoff walk. He's a 3 to steal, but that's a 6, so he can't get the jump. Tito Fuentes, it's a B bunter. I wonder if do we dare try to bunt here? Outs are so precious, though. You hate to give up outs. He did have 12 sacrifice bunts, though. Man, that's a tough call. I might have to. I don't use it, and you know me on my replays. I really don't like to bunt. I really, really don't. Look at our sacrifice bunt chart, though, if we want to go that route. Let's see here. He is let's say he was a B bunter. He's a B bunter. And as far as I can tell, there's no provision about taking one away from his rating because the corners are in or anything like that. So I don't see anything on here. I don't remember anything about that being the case. So we're going to go in and stick with the B bunter. And we need to roll 1d6 to see who fields it. And then the 2 D10s will tell us what kind of bunt they have. Or, as Mr. Clinton Park says, you could use the fast action card and just simply flip it, which is probably easier to do. So what we'll do, he is an A bunter. We're going to flip this fast action card and see if we get a good bunt or not. And we do. and it's to the pitcher. So it's bunted back to Carlton. It's a good sacrifice hit. Spire will take second base. We'll call it 1-4 since the corners were charging. The second baseman had to cover first base. So it's a good sacrifice. Thank you there, Mr. Clinton. All right, so Tito Fuentes gets the bunt down, and now the go-ahead run is at second base with one out for Bobby Bonds. Again, Willie Mays did not start this game, but he is available for pinch hitting duties later if he would like, if we find that right situation. Right now, Bobby Bonds doubled in the first. He's 1 for 2 against Carlton. That's a 7, which is in play 35. Well, 35 is not falling the wild pitch range, so don't worry about that. 35 is also out of the range here for the in play. It's only 27. So he's going to pop it up to third base. So 2 down, and it's going to be all up to King Kong Dave Kingman if the Giants are to score. Hello, Philip. Good to see you. That's a 5, which is tough, 40, and that's a strikeout for Kingman, and that will end the inning. 7th strikeout for Carlton. So at the end of 6, we got no score from Candlestick Park. So Marichal back out. This would normally be his fatigue inning, but he's not giving up any runs, so he's still good to go. 5 is tough, 43, and that's a strikeout on Don Money. And for Marichal, that's strikeout number 4 for Marichal. Anderson, right fielder, he's 0 for 1 with a walk. 3 is Ballpark, and we are looking at Ballpark. We are looking at 0-6 or 0-4. It doesn't matter. It's going to be Wheelhouse because it's Mike Anderson's righty. Wheelhouse is 1-86. That definitely falls in play. So rather than re-roll, I'm going to use this fast action card to check the Wheelhouse for Anderson. 1-33 is a home run. 54 or less, he at least gets a hit. That's a 74, so it's out of range. He's going to end up hitting just a fly ball to center field. So Marichal put one in the Wheelhouse, but Arnold missed it. Just a fly ball to center. And there are 2 away. And that'll bring up Denny Doyle. That's a 10, which is patient, but that's a rare play. We got a 0-0. So we go to the rare play chart. Bases empty, patient. Bases empty, patient. The bases empty, patient for 0 through 60 is on this side. And then from 69 through 79, it goes this way. So patient 47 through 68, 69 or higher goes on the other page. So now we're going to flip the fast action card because I already used the dice. See what number we get. We get 43. So here, base is empty, 43, patient. Batter hit by pitch. If another batter is hit by pitch this game, both benches are warned. Any subsequent hit by pitch results in pitcher being ejected from the game. All right, so the warning has been issued. Denny Doyle gets hit by the pitch from Marichal, and the umpires have warned both benches to knock it off. So 2 outs, and here comes Carlton using pitch hitting card number 10. He's actually reached base twice, a single and a walk. 6 is in play, but it's a 72, though, so that's going to be a fly to center. And that will end the inning. So Marichal will keep his endurance for the 8th inning. We go to the 7th inning stretch already. Boy, I tell you what, talk about fast moving. We've played basically 29 minutes, and we're in the 7th inning stretch already. All right, here's Henderson, Maddox, and Healy due up against Carlton. That's a 7, which is in play, 31, and that's a base hit for Ken Henderson. 12-35 is a single. So Ken Henderson, leadoff single. That's a 7. He's a 4, so he can't get a lead. Here's Maddox. He's also a B bunter, but you're getting to the bottom of the order, so I don't think you want to bunt to get it down to these low guys at the bottom. So We're going to have Matic swing away. Get a 7, which is in play. 21, and that's a base hit for Gary Maddox. Fast action card says runner on first advances 2 bases. So we got runners on the corners. And that's why you don't bunt, folks. Runners on the corners with nobody out now. And Fran Healy, the catcher, steps to the plate. The infield for the Phillies is going to play, boy, you play in or you play back for the double play and try to sneak a run against Marichal, or you take a chance of giving up multiple runs. Wow. That's a tough call. I think with nobody out, they'll play back for the double play. If there had been one out, we'd play in. But I think they're going to play. Carlton basically needs a strikeout is what he really needs. But we're playing back for the double play. 6 is patient. 25 is not going to matter. They walk Healy, and that loads the bases. So now Carlton, his first real, since the first inning, his first real threat. The bases are now loaded for Chris Arnold. Six is patient. 86, that's out of range. 86 is a ground ball to short. That's a 6. It will be a double play, but the run will score. They played back for the double. They were playing back. But look at it. 86 was a ground ball to short, so it's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Going to third is Maddox. Scoring is Henderson. It's 1-0 Giants, but now there are 2 outs. And that brings up Juan Marichal. That's a 9. Ballpark. 95, though. That's going to be in play for Marichal. So we're looking 1 to 25 is a hit. We get an 86, and that is a ground ball to short. But the Giants break through with a run, and at the end of 7, it's San Francisco 1 and the Phillies nothing. Phillies got their work cut out for them against Juan Marichal. Hello, Dr. D. 1-0. And here's Larry Boa, top of the order, to lead it off against Marichal. That's a 10, which is patient. 94, though, is not going to help. That's going to be a fly to left. 1 away, and here's McCarver. That's an 11, which is defense. And the defensive check is on the range of the center fielder. Center fielder range. Well, the center fielder in this game is Gary Maddox. His range is a C. So kind of a little bit below what you would think for Gary Maddox. But his range is a C, which means a 1 to 45, it drops for a hit. 46 or higher, he makes the catch. That's a 50. So he will make the catch, but barely. So Maddox runs it down. 2 away for Willie Montañez. Six is in play. 25, that's a base hit for Willie Montañez. Again, he's a stolen base of 2, and that's a 6, so he can't get a jump. So Darren Johnson has a chance. Try to score Montañez with an extra base hit, if he can find one. 10 is patient. 71, he won't find a hit. He will find a fly to center, and that will end the inning. So Marichal going for the complete game shutout in the 9th. Carlton back out, looking for a complete game on the losing end, perhaps, of a 1-0 ball game. Here's Spire. That's a 6, which is patient. 27 against a lefty. That's a walk. So Chris Spire walked for the 2nd time. And for Carlton, that's 1, 2, that's his 4th walk to go with 7 strikeouts. So Spire walks, and here's Fuentes. And there's no reason not to bunt again. So again, we're using the fast action cards. He is a B bunter. And it's a good sacrifice bunt right back to Carlton again. 1 to 4. And that's going to get the runner in scoring position with 1 out. Didn't work last time because Bonds popped out and Kingman struck out. But we'll see if that strategy works this time. Bobby Bonds. 3 is defense. So we go to defense, and we're looking at the range of the right fielder. That's Mike Anderson. His range is only a C. So he is a C range right fielder, which means 1 to 45 is a hit, 46 or higher makes the play. That's a 53, so he does make the catch. So fortunately for Carlton, Anderson was able to get to that, and there's 2 away for Dave Kingman. Six is patient. 92, though, that's going to even his patient goes to 81, but the 92 is even above that, and that will be a fly to left to end the inning. So we go to the ninth, last chance for the Phillies. Giants in their bullpen. Let me see who their closer was to warm up just in case, but we're certainly going to have Marshall start the inning. According to the players on the roster, the guy who had the most saves was Jerry Johnson. They also had Don McMahon with 5 saves, but we'll go with Jerry Johnson loosening in the bullpen just in case they want to or feel the need to relieve Marichal, but they're certainly going to give Marichal every chance to complete the game. It'll be Luzinski, Money, and Anderson. On the bench for the Phillies, left-handed hitters, you got Tommy Hutton and Ron Stone. Those are 2 lefties. From the right side, not a whole lot. So let's see what kind of hitter Hutton was, or Stone. Hutton, a pretty good hitter at 264 against right-handers. He could certainly be a pinch hitter. Stone, not so much. On the rest of the bench, Terry Harmon was a 313 hitter, but the rest of them are terrible. So it's pretty much, if they need a pinch hitter, you're looking at Tom Hutton. They might use Hutton for Anderson. Right now, though, Greg Luzinski is going to see what he can do here in the ninth against Marichal. That's a 9, which is in play, and that's a 10. That's a base hit. 10 is going to be a base hit for Greg Luzinski. And, of course, we will run for Greg Luzinski. He's horrible at running. Of course, spam call coming in, so get rid of that. So they will have a pinch runner. So let's see who on the bench who can run. Who's the fastest runner that they have? Let's see. Run rating of 5 for Luzinski, so he's obviously out of there. I'm not going to go with that. Stone runs at a 6. Harmon runs at an 8. But Harmon's one of your other good pinch hitters, too, so you don't want to lose him. We'll probably go with somebody that's a 6, I imagine. So, boy, who do you go with here? They're going to go with Byron Brown to pinch run. So Brown will be the pinch runner. And the Phillies are trying to figure out what Brown can do for them. He is a pinch runner for Luzinski. So he's on first. And Don Money, your batter. Not a very good bunter. Boy, do they want to bring in a pinch hitter to bunt is the question. Get the runner in scoring position. Roger Freed is an A bunter. They could bunt for Don Money. I think they're going to bring in Roger Freed to bunt. His sole job is to bunt. He is an A bunter. So Roger Freed is in to bunt for Don Money. And, of course, we check the fast action card. And it's a good bunt to the pitcher. So he bunts it back to Marichal. And that gets the tying run to second base with 1 out. And we'll get a pinch hitter for Mike Anderson. He will leave. And Tom Hutton will do the pinch hitting. Tommy E.F. Hutton will pinch hit. He will be your pinch hitter. Tommy Hutton. Hutton is aboard, and against right-handers, he hit 264 during the season. Runner at second with decent speed. That's a 7, which is tough, and that's a 14. You're going to strike out most. Although if he could have gotten a 15, he'd had a double. We'd have a tie game. But that 14 missed it by that much, as Don Adams would have said. But the 14 is a strikeout for Marichal. That's his 5th strikeout. And now it's all down to Denny Doyle. Pitcher spot is on deck, but Terry Harmon has picked up a bat, and he would hit. He was a .313 hitter against righties. So he would hit. So you can't intentionally walk Denny Doyle. Then you bring up a better hitter in Terry Harmon. So it's all up to Denny Doyle. 9 is in play. 28. That's a base hit. Base hit. Run on second advances 1 base. So the run does not score according to the fast action cards. I know sometimes people use the rule about if it's 2 outs and the runner is a 6 or better or 7 or better, he would score. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I just kind of went to the fast action card there, but do you guys that play payoff pitch, do you use that rule about it was in play? It was not a wheelhouse or anything. Do you guys use the rule that if the pinch runner, who at the time is Brown, where is Brown? Where did he go? Get his card. Byron Brown. Not Byron Brown. I don't know why I use Byron Brown. He's the same as Luzinski. He's a 5, so it doesn't matter anyway. All right, so runners are at the corners with 2 outs. And that's going to bring up the pinch hitter, Terry Harmon. He will pinch hit. They're going to go out and visit with Marichal to see if he's still okay. Says he is. So he will pitch it to, boy, or do we bring in, maybe we'll bring in the fresh arm. Tough call. Because he's right on the verge. Actually, they're going to pull him and bring in Don McMahon. They're going to pull Marichal with 2 outs in the 9th. Marichal goes 8 2/3, and they're going to bring in Don McMahon. Get that fresh arm in there against Terry Harmon. So Marichal, let's get his numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits allowed, but 2 of those this inning. So he's starting to struggle a bit. He hit a batter. He walked 2 and struck out 5. Has not allowed a run, but he's responsible for both guys on base. And now Terry Harmon trying to send this game to a bottom of the 9th. You could question the call to replace Marichal, but just felt like he was running out of gas there. So if we look at the bullpen and roster for the Giants, we scratch out McMahon as he's been used. And now we look at Terry Harmon. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. And Terry Harmon, the pinch hitter. That's a 3, which is patient 86. And that's a base hit for Terry Harmon. Patient 86 is a base hit for Terry Harmon. We have a tie ball game. That run is charged to Marichal, and he will get a no decision. Actually, he could take the loss if Doyle would score. But that's a base hit on a single. Runner advances 2 bases. So now runners are at the corners again as Terry Harmon comes through with a pinch hit. Solid pinch hit single to tie the game. And now here's Larry Boa. We are tied at 1 apiece. Runners on the corners and 2 outs. And the peanut gallery is wondering why they took out Marichal, but he was fading. So went with McMahon, but Terry Harmon just better on that at bat. That's all. 10 is ballpark. 14, that's a wheelhouse check for Larry Boa, but he has no power. Can't get a home run, but he could get a hit on a 1-41. That's a 97, though, so he will fly it to left. And that will end the inning. So Carlton gets a no decision. He's going to go 8 innings, but they had to pinch hit for him. And now the Phillies got to work out their defense because there were a whole lot of changes done. And we got to figure out defensively what the heck is going on. So Carlton will get his numbers. He gave up the 1 run in 8 innings. Gave it 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 4 walks, and looks like 7 strikeouts. Now the Phillies will need a new pitcher. Who do the Phillies want to go to? Well, coming up for the Giants, scheduled hitters for the Giants, it'll be Henderson, Maddox, and Healy, but they will probably pinch hit for Healy. But it's switch right and right, so Phillies are probably looking at a right-hander out of the bullpen to bring in. Question is, do they trust any of their right-handers? Let's see who they want to go to here. They will go to Bucky Brandon. So Bucky Brandon will come on to try to keep the score where it is. Bucky Brandon. Willie Mays is swinging a bat on the on-deck circle. He may pinch hit for Healy. See what happens. Here's Henderson, bottom of the 9th, tied at 1. A no decision for Steve Carlton and for Marichal. Game is now in the hands of the bullpen. 3 is patient. 0-7, that's going to be a walk, leadoff walk for Ken Henderson. Here's Maddox. He's a B bunter, so you're going to have a bunt. And he misses the bunt. All right, now I got to figure out, I think in the rule book, I'm not used to using the fast action cards for bunting. Let me see what the chart says about that for bunting. Batter misses pitch on second miss, he strikes out. So basically it's like the Strat-O-Matic 1-ball, 2-strike count. But you got to figure, you can't have 2 misses in a row, right? So we're going to have him bunt again. And it's a good sacrifice this time where McCarver makes the play. So it's going to go 2-4. And Henderson will take second base. He is the possible winning run. Now the problem, though, by bunting like that, if you pinch hit with Willie Mays, they'll just put him on base because his run means nothing. His run means absolutely nothing. Might be better off to save him for the pitcher spot. Let's see what the Giants might want to do with their bench. They could use Rader, and he could come in and stay in the game to catch. Rader was more their normal catcher anyway. So they'll bring in Rader to pinch hit for Healy. Dave Rader will pinch hit for Healy. First base is open if they decide to walk Rader. But if you do that, that's going to almost guarantee you get to the pitcher spot, and you're looking at Willie Mays. So I think they're going to go ahead and pitch to Rader. They'd rather keep Willie Mays on the bench if possible. So Rader is up to pinch hit in a pinch hitting situation. He's a 275 hitter against right-handed pitching. We get a 6, which is tough, 52, and that's going to be a ground ball to third, and that'll freeze the runner at second base. So 2 down for Chris Arnold, and Rader will stay in the game to catch. I forgot to update the defense on the Phillies. I'll do that at the half inning's over. Rader is a B, 3, and a 4. Running at a 6. And he's a 2F. All right, so that's Rader. Now Chris Arnold, chance to be the hero. A 300 hitter against right-handed pitching. Limited duty. But again, you can't walk him because if you do, you got Willie Mays standing on deck. And Willie Mays is on deck. If Arnold reaches and the game's not over, Willie Mays will pinch hit. 5 is tough, 60, and that's going to be a ground ball to third, and we got extra innings here at San Francisco. So McMahon will come out and pitch again. He'll pitch the top of the 10th, and then Willie Mays would pinch hit for him at the end of the inning. So we go to the 10th, still 1-1. I got to get the defense straight for the Phillies after all the changes that were made. Luzinski is no longer in left field. It is Byron Brown. So we're going to put Brown in here because he pinch ran for Luzinski. So he's in left field. Actually, he's not even rated for left field. He's actually going to be in right field. And we'll move this guy to left field, whoever came in for Anderson. So let's see, the B1 and a 7. So Byron Brown is there. Let's see, who pinch hit for Anderson? That would have been Hutton. Hutton pinch hit for Anderson. So Hutton, does he have any rating for an outfielder? Hutton does. Hutton can play left field. He's a B17, so he will stay in the game to play left field. Now you get my batting order straight. If I had this game on the computer, it would already be done for me, but I don't. So I think everybody else is status quo. No, they pinch hit for Money at third with Roger Freed. So let's see if Freed stays in the game. He's not a third baseman, so they're bringing somebody else to play third. Actually, going to keep Harmon in the game, batting ninth, playing third, because he pinch hit for the pitcher. So he'll stay in to play third base, and the pitcher spot will be right here. So he's a D1. All right, so I'm sorry, I should have done this before the half inning started on the bottom half and didn't think to do it. So let's get our order together. We have McCarver, Montañez, Johnson, Brown, the pitcher spot. And then we have Hutton, Doyle, and Harmon. Okay, so now we're straight. Now it's all straight. Right now, Don McMahon's going to face Tim McCarver, start the top of the 10th. That's a 4. Patient 97, though. That's going to be a fly ball to right field. Again, that's one of the dings on payoff pitches. If you roll a 97, 98, 99, you know it's automatic out pretty much. Here's Willie Montañez. It doesn't bother me, but it does bother some people. Here's Montañez. 8 is tough. 67 only goes to 57. 67's a ground ball to short. That's 2 away for Darren Johnson. Byron Brown is on deck. 4 is Patient, 37, and that's going to be a base hit for Darren Johnson. Base hit for Johnson. 2-out single brings up Byron Brown in right field. Who do the Phillies have left? They do have Ron Stone. Do they pinch hit with Ron Stone is the question. Now, they better save Ron Stone in case he gets to the pitcher spot later on another occasion. So they're going to look, because the pitcher spot is next. So Ron Stone is actually on deck to hit for the pitcher, who's on deck next. So Ron Stone is in the waiting. But right now, Byron Brown. 11 is Wheelhouse, 94, though. So Wheelhouse 94, way out of range. This is a fly ball to left, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 10th. Ron Stone will have to wait till the 11th to potentially pinch hit. That's going to be it for McMahon. They will pinch hit for him with Willie Mays. Willie Mays will lead off the bottom of the 10th. Willie Mays. So he will pinch hit. And let's see about the Phillies. They're still going to have Bucky Brandon to pitch. He is set to lead off the next inning. So Bucky Brandon taking on Willie Mays, Chris Spire, and Tito Fuentes. Mays trying to end it. This was not a good year for Willie Mays. Came over, or he would go to the Mets later on. He was only with the Giants from April 15th to May 9th. He had no home runs. He did walk a lot, but he had no home runs. So here's Willie Mays. That's a 7. In play, 65. That's going to be a ground ball to second. So Mays is out. And if it goes to a top of the 11th, we're looking at Jerry Johnson to come in for the Giants to pitch. Here's Chris Spire. 8 is tough, 36, and that is a strikeout. 2 down, and here comes Tito Fuentes. 6 is tough, 62. That will be a fly to right, and we're going to the 11th inning. New pitcher will be needed for the Giants, and Bucky Brandon, he's done as well, as he's set to lead off the next inning, so they will pinch hit for him with Stone. So Jeff Stone will pinch hit to lead off the inning. For the Phillies, it will be Stone, Hutton, and Doyle due up. And for the Giants, they will go to their bullpen. And go to Jerry Johnson. We'll get the numbers on McMahon and on Brandon. So McMahon goes an inning and a third. And he gave up 2 hits and no runs. No walks, no strikeouts. Brandon went 2 innings, and he gave up no hits, a walk, and a strikeout. So here we go, top of the 11th. All right, Ernest, you have a good one. Jerry Johnson taking on the pinch hitter Ron Stone. That leaves Kogel and Ryan, the only 2 left on the Phillies bench. And the Phillies will also need a new pitcher. They got 3 lefties in the pen and 2 righties, so we'll figure out who they want to go to based on what's coming up. Bonds is going to lead off. So Bonds Kingman. So I think we're going for a right-hander. So it's probably going to be Barry Lersch is who I'm thinking of. Let's look at the numbers here. Yeah, Barry Lersch is going to be the pitcher that's going to come in for the Phillies in the bottom half, whether they score or not. Lersch is going to be your guy. But Ron Stone's going to start it off here in the top of the 11th against Jerry Johnson. 4 is tough, 90. That's ground ball to second. 1 away, and Stone is out of there. Here's Tommy Hutton. Struck out as a pinch hitter in the 9th. 10 is tough, 81. And that's going to be a ground ball to second again. 2 outs for Denny Doyle. Terry Harmon is on deck on the double switch. 7 is tough, 22. That's a base hit for Denny Doyle. Denny Doyle fights off a tough one. He's got a couple of hits. Both his hits have come after he got hit by the pitch. Maybe he got mad. He's a 3 steal, but that's a 7, so he can't move up. But Terry Harmon stay in the game and on the double switch. He will bat now against Jerry Johnson. That is a 11, which is defense. So we are looking at an error on the shortstop, possibly on Chris Spire. And his error rating is a 3. So on Candlestick Park, error of 3, 1 to 45 is an error. Anything else he makes the play. That's a 21. That will be an error. Let's see what kind of error it is. On the shortstop, just a 1 base error. So it will be a boot by Chris Spire, and the inning will continue. E6. That keeps the inning going. Keeps the Phillies with a chance to take the lead still. And it'll be up to Larry Boa, top of the order. He is 1 for 5 at this point. But the lead runner, Denny Doyle, is in scoring position. Decent runner at 6, not great, but decent. 8 is in play, 68 though. That's going to be a ground ball to second to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 11th, still 1-1. And the Phillies will bring in Barry Lersch to pitch. And Lersch will be facing Bonds, Kingman, and Henderson for the Giants here in the bottom of the 11th of a 1-1 tie. Phillies got a run in the 9th to tie it. Here's Bobby Bonds. We get a 9, which is in play, 80, and that's going to be a fly to center. So Bonds is out of there. 1 down, and that's going to send up Kingman. 4 is in play, 17, and that's a base hit for Dave Kingman. The winning run at first base. Here's Ken Henderson. Maddox is on deck. Lurch to Henderson. 10 is Ballpark. And we get a 37. Ballpark 37 with Henderson, a lefty, is still in the wheelhouse. So we're looking at the wheelhouse for Henderson. He could walk this off. A 1-73 is going to be a home run to walk it off. 78 or less is going to be a double/triple, which would still probably win the game. 79 and 95, he gets a base hit. Only way he's out is 96 or higher. That's a 36. It's gone. Ken Henderson, a walk-off 2-run home run in the bottom of the 11th inning, and the Giants win it by the score of 3-1. The Ballpark and the wheelhouse, that 37 put it in the wheelhouse, and Ken Henderson, who had 18 home runs on the season, did not miss, and the Giants win it by the score of 3-1. Losing pitcher is Barry Lurch. He's only going to manage a third of an inning, and he gave up the 2 hits and the 2 runs, which were the home run. Winning pitcher is Johnson, Jerry Johnson. He went 1 inning, gave up a hit, nothing else, and he gets the win. So final line score, 3 runs on 6 hits and an error for the Giants, and 1 run, 9 hits, and no errors for the Phillies. So game 3 is in the books in the replay for Steve Carlton. In the first game, he had to face Ferguson Jenkins. In the second game, he had to face Bob Gibson. This game, he had to face Juan Marshall. He gets a break in game 4. They are playing the lowly Padres. He's going to face a guy named Steve Arlen. But it's the lowly Padres is the next game that Carlton will be in. He will face the lowly Padres. And then after that, in next game after that, he'll be in Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers, as the Phillies are on a West Coast swing. And Bill Singer will be the starting pitcher for him as well. So those are the next 2 games in the replay. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Payoff Pitch. Hopefully I didn't butcher it too much. Like I said, I haven't played in a while. I do like the interaction with using both the fast action cards and the dice, but minimal charts. I only use the chart really for rare plays. That's pretty much what I want to use the charts for, just the rare plays. So there you go. Player of the game, Ken Henderson. He's the man. His home run at Candlestick Park took care of it. And the San Francisco Giants flipped the tables. Philly won the game real world 3-0, but the Giants flip it and win it in 11 innings, 3-1. So hope you all enjoyed that presentation of Payoff Pitch. If you haven't tried Payoff Pitch, I would highly recommend it. It's a really fun game. And I think you get pretty realistic results. But, every game is up for interpretation. And, like I always say, play the game you want to play the way you want to play it. But that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great weekend, whatever you have planned. Tonight I might do, if I do anything tonight, it would probably be the Demolition League. Saturday I'm looking probably to do the fictional Baseball America Three Stooges, the Ticonderoga Stooges, as they travel to Havana, Cuba, to take on the Havana Bananas in Game 3 of their season. So and of course, back on Monday morning, we're back with 1987 Yankees and the Blue Jays on Monday morning on the June 9th date. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great weekend, whatever you... Oh, Midlife, you got this for Christmas 2 years ago. Oh, you've been asking for 2 years. Cool. Well, I hope you enjoy it. There are definitely a lot of videos out there if you want to learn how to play it. And, of course, recently the computer version is starting to come out. So videos for that as well. I personally prefer the cards and dice. And speaking of computer, I need to put this game in the Action PC computer so that I can keep track of the stats and everything else, so we're ready to go for game number 4. Now, like I said, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to take about 3 or 4 days between each of these games to kind of simulate the pitching rotation, where you're waiting, 3 or 4 days for the next start, and I'll have the Action PC computer sim the other games that aren't involving Steve Carlton. So I hope let us know what hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you get stuck or you're not sure on the rules or whatever, like I said, there's plenty. You look on YouTube, there are plenty of videos on payoff pitch about how to play it. People have their own way of playing it, whether it's with the fast action cards only, or the dice only with the charts, or a hybrid of both. Multiple ways to play it. I would just suggest finding one way to play it and be consistent. That way you're not confusing your own self. So anyway, so that's going to do it from here. Have a great weekend, everybody. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.